Welcome to session 15 of CS IRM exam preparation. So we talk about risk integrations here. So we want to leverage advanced risk assessment engine. So the first is GRC privacy management, then GRC RCM. So in case of GRC privacy management, we identify assets that pose the highest risks and ensure appropriate levels of controls are implemented to mitigate those risks. In case of RCM, we want to assess impact of regulatory change with an impact assessment. So we want to perform ARA with limited set of features. So with privacy management, we can leverage risk management, advanced risk management, but with limited set of features. So privacy management users can only have two active risk assessment methodologies with limited ARA. Then you have project risk assessment, PPM plus advanced risk, APM plus advanced risk. APM, application owner, this is the flow. Business app is created, auto creates entity in GRC, initiates a questionnaire to application owner, response to questionnaire, review responses, review and sign up inherent risks. Based on inherent risk rating, additional controls are mapped. Executes recommendation engine to suggest policies, risk and citations, maps control risk, corresponding risk policies and citations, auto map corresponding controls. Then you have map baseline controls which need to be implemented. Work with stakeholders to implement the controls, attest the controls implementation, response to manual control indicators, monitors app risk and compliance with out-of-the-box dashboards. Continuous monitoring design, determine monitoring scenarios. So next is, how do you do continuous monitoring? So we have to determine monitoring scenarios. So we'll configure indicator templates. So let's look at that. Let's look at that, indicator templates. And that's part of both policy compliance and risk assessment. So you can just pick up any of them. So we'll first look at policy compliance indicator templates, and then we'll do the risk ones as well. So if you see here, we have all these templates available out of the box. Let's say manual power backup. So we have type as manual, basic, and scripted. So this is a manual activity, which means somebody has to actually go and do it. We need to map control objective or risk statements to this, so it automatically adds indicators. Right? So I'm just going to clear this off. So we have, for example, this one here, deploy SIM or log analytics tool. So for this control objective, we have indicator templates mapped, which is this one here. And if you look at the template, this is type manual, which means somebody has to fill it. There's an instruction here, and then we talk about a content reference, which they can refer when filling this data. When you, yeah, that's the first one. And then you need to execute indicators to get the results on the controls. So we go to indicators. Let's look at this, for example. Let's look at this one. So I'm looking at one example for the indicators, and if you see this one here, this is a basic indicator. Okay, yeah, I think we need to find a good example, but basically you create an indicator template, map it to an objective, and then it scopes those indicators to the controls and risks, and then depending on type of indicator, it has to be executed to capture the results. Next is monitoring use cases. First is customer service, data subject rights, requests, market conduct research, employee experiences, ethical compliance, workplace resilience, digital ID transformation, cyber risk and security controls, continuous monitoring, IT compliance, continuous monitoring at risk, ensure DevOps compliance, legal and finance, financial compliance monitoring, managed privacy and risk compliance. Technology controls content pack, continuously monitors 109 CS and IS. So 27002 based controls points in products, contains authority documents for CS controls, associate citations policy and control topics for 191 CS controls, 191 indicator templates both basic and manual map to UCF meant to improve cyber hygiene and success operation of uh, information security management system. Next, compliance data source repository registry CDSR policy as code engine, ability to associate control object with equivalent policies and check from other SN apps, ability to generate entities and controls based on an association to understand compliance posture, all of that. Next, continuous compliance monitoring. Next topic. So better together, configuration, compliance management, and SecOps. There's a property called SN compliance auto create profile and control. If user closes an issue on GRC side, it may reflect an invalid compliance state since the issue state depends on scan results. So basically, we can use security scans to update the compliance results. Continuous compliance monitoring. If an entity is already created, the integration will use existing entity. If an entity doesn't exist, it auto creates it. Continuous risk monitoring. Lower first line burden through automated control monitoring. Auto test operational effectiveness on periodic basis. Use data from across as an ecosystem to systematically gather and store evidence. Escalate issues to control nodes and fail when a failure is detected. Reuse CCM results for audit testing. Better together with vulnerability response and SecOps. Continuous monitoring, better together with HRSD. Right? Indicator architecture, indicator type is manual, basic, and scripted. Indicator templates will be associated with one or more control objectives. A template can't be related to both. Okay, so the key here is you cannot have one template for both control objective and risk assessment. Basic indicators can leverage ServiceNow tables in non-GRC scoped apps. When leveraging non-GRC scoped app tables, the indicator templates must identify cross-reference field back to entities. So basically, there should be a way to map entity reference in the indicator templates. GRC metrics, future of risk continuous monitoring. So let's see what it is. GRC metrics, GRC. Okay. So here we have enables threshold-based monitoring of key risks and controls and alerts respective owners on change to risk and controls. Automate mundane metric data collection tasks, which saves employees time. Efficiently monitors and shares risk info across the org. Indicators versus metrics. Indicators primarily used for automated control, uh, continuous control assessments, and not risk and control monitoring. Primarily designed and needed for continuous control assessment and hence not part of metrics. Metrics, unique features and aligns to risk and control monitoring. Key types of metrics, KRIs, KCIs, KPIs. Explore and configure issues. Issue overview and architecture. Issue management, issue intake and triage. Issue can include operational risk events, regulatory compliance violations, security breaches. Issue can be identified of any of three lines of defense, as well as by external sources such as consumer complaints or regulatory uh, examples. Okay, we will talk about issues in next video. Thanks for watching.